What's up, nail geeks? I am back with Ethereal Lacquers in the Name of the Moon collection. This is inspired by Sailor Moon, and I also have the previously not released pink shade that has now been renamed, so let's dive right in. First up is Gilded Galaxy. This is a mango yellow base with a very small holographic flakes, red, gold to green iridescent flakes, and subtle copper shimmer. On release, this one will be $12.50. So this has a very jelly-like formula to it. It's got a ton of squish to the application. So I'm going to suggest going in quite thin on your coats and taking it up to 2, possibly 3 coats, depending on your preference and your nail length. So it dries down a touch on the flat side. So again, go in lightly on your coats just to make sure that that squish factor evenly distributes across your nail, and I think you'll be good to go. I think this one has quite a bit of versatility to it that it would make a fantastic topper, and I think it will look really awesome over a very sunny sort of yellow cream too. So quite a bit of versatility with this, and on its own it takes on this very mango sort of yellow base color, which very true to the description here. And it's got just a bit of this red undertone from all the shimmer and the flakes. And next is Zirconia. This is a deepened violet base with a linear holographic effect. On release, this one will also be $12.50. This is insanely holographic in person. I did take a shot with my macro lens of it with straight light to it. I'll show it at the end. It's very rainbow filled. Now I do want to almost classify this one as a one coater. It applies very dense, very smooth and rich on the nail. I think most are going to be perfectly fine at 2 coats. So again, I'm going to suggest going in real light on your application, and it'll get that nice plump effect on your second light coat. So you can see here, excellent coverage with it. I really can't see many needing to go to a 3rd coat. Even if you're rocking very long nails, I just can't see it. This is so delightful on application. And of course it is so chock full of that holographic pigment that, again, I'm going to suggest going in light on your brush strokes to prevent any sort of potential streaking, and finish off with a glossy top coat to really get that holographic pigment to shine. And next is Powerful Love. This is a brightened blue base with a gold to green to aqua to blue shifting shimmer and scattered holographic pigments. This one will be $12.50 on release too. Now all proceeds of Peaceful Love will be donated to the Trevor Project. For any and all of the charities involved in this collection, I will link them below if you guys want to check them out and get more information. They are absolutely wonderful charities. Now, Powerful Love has a bit of a jelly sort of feel on application. This one also has that very strong squishy-like effect to it. So I'm going to suggest going in, again, very lightly on your brush strokes just to get it to even out very well on your nail and kind of play up against that really squishy factor with this one. Now for opacity, I'm going to suggest 3 light coats on it. I think some may be able to get away with 2 coats, but again, that squishy factor kind of builds it up and really helps to plump it out. So going in very thin on your coats, I think maximizes the shimmer on it and gives you that really strong shimmery effect. Now, depending on your lighting, it's going to come across as this really lovely gold or green. And at extreme angles, it shifts over to this lovely aqua and blue shade. It has just a bit of a metallic sort of appearance to it too, as it is, again, it's just so packed full of shimmer. And next is Space and Time. This is a deep turquoise base with an emerald, aqua, gold to fuchsia multi-chrome pigment and scattered holographic flakes. This one will also be $12.50 on release. So the formula to this is what I would consider Girly-like. It does have just a touch of that strong squishy factor like the others, but it does apply very dense and very opaque on the nail. So I think most are going to be perfectly fine at 2 coats with this one. Now I want to note that in my opinion, the shimmer to this takes a bit of a backseat to that base color. So in person, you're mostly going to see this nice emerald, almost aqua sort of appearance for the shimmer as you build it up. And over at extreme angles, I was seeing the gold and the fuchsia come out to play. So I think it's just the slightest bit on the subtle side, but definitely noticeable overall. And the holographic flakes just really pack a punch with this one. There is so many here. It definitely gives off those space vibes. Now it does dry down quite flat, so I'm going to suggest a very good glossy top coat to seal this one off. And next is Silver Crystal. This is a pure color shifting shimmer polish with color shifts of gold to green to aqua and blue. At extreme angles, you can also see purple, orange, and pink. Now, when this one releases, it will be 13, and in our PR information, it was suggested that this one will look best over white, so that's exactly what I'm showing you guys. One coat over white is fantastic. This is literally a liquefied pearl in a bottle. It is so intense in person. It is absolutely shifty. I think it will look really cool over other colors, but white just gives it this very special appearance. Now it dries on flat, so finish off with a glossy top coat and you'll get so much color roll, lots of blues and pinks and golds. It's all over the place and absolutely stunning. Definitely one that I would highly recommend picking up. It's one that you have to see in person. And next is Love and Justice. This is a bright violet jelly base full of iridescent flakes that shift pink to red to copper to gold to green. This one will be $12.50 on release, and all proceeds for this will be donated to AAJC. Again, I will link all the charities below for you guys if you'd like more information on them. Now, Love and Justice has that very, very strong squishy factor during application. So once again, I'm going to suggest going in very light on those brush strokes and just allow it to slowly build up. I think thin coats on this flatter it the best, and I would suggest taking it up to 3 coats just to maximize the amount of flakes. This one also has versatility to it. I think it would look fantastic over darker colors, especially black and maybe even like a deep eggplant purple. But on its own, it's still very vibrant. And at that third thin coat, you'll get so much flakes on it. These are just so stinking intense in person. It's just really polishes that you want to see in person. They're really wonderful. Now this also has quite a bit of a shimmer factor with it too that kind of matches up with those flakes. As you build it up, you'll get that pond sort of effect. So you'll see the flakes in between your layers. It is, again, just very dense. I can't rave about this collection enough. They are so pretty in person. Now this also dries down quite a bit on the flat side, so you're gonna wanna finish off with a glossy top coat on this one too. And next is Black Moon. This is a pale pink base with a bright pink orange shifting shimmer and scattered holographic flakes. On release, this one will be 13. So this has a very Girly-like formula, but again, we are seeing quite a bit of that squishy sort of factor on the brush strokes. And again, I'm gonna suggest between 2 and 3 coats. This one's really gonna depend on how you apply. I personally found that going in very thin on your coats and then taking it up to a 3rd thin coat really flatters it best. This is what I would consider almost a neutral pink on myself. It's quite glowy in person, and the holographic flecks in this one are of the finer particle, so you'll get that strong but very dense sort of scattered sparkly effect, if you will, as you build it up. So those of you rocking shorties, you might be able to get away with 2 coats, but again, I personally feel like 3 thin coats is best. So this dries down quite flat, so you're going to want to use a glossy top coat once again. And the shifting factor with this is really interesting. At extreme angles, I was definitely seeing this orange sort of shift to it. At the end of the video, I'm definitely going to show you guys my macros, so hopefully it'll give you a bit better of an idea of the shifts to some of these, because again, these are polishes with these types of shimmers are just really tricky to capture, and I don't think the photos of mine do them justice. And next we have In the Name of the Moon. This is a bright and colorful turquoise jelly base with a bright pink to orange shifting shimmer. On release, this one will also be $12.50. Now this one is very jam-packed full of shimmer. Once again, I'm going to suggest going in light on your brush strokes. This is what I would consider more of a sheer sort of base. If you have a very prominent free edge, once you build it up, you might see just a touch of your smile line, but polishes like this, I think it's totally worth it because there is so much shimmer. Again, I think this one would also make a fantastic topper if you wanted to wear it over an undie, but on its own, it's still absolutely stunning. The turquoise base to this is what I would consider a touch subtle. This shimmer just kind of takes over everything. And in indoor lighting and bright lights, you'll see this really strong fuchsia sort of pink effect. And at angles, it easily shifts over to this nice golden sort of orangey effect. It is very shifty in person. Now again, this also dries down quite flat, so you're going to want to use a good glossy top coat to finish it off. And last but not least, we have Blossom. This was previously for a polished pickup release, but it was pulled, unfortunately. But fortunately, we do have it released now, and it has been renamed Blossom and is described as a bright pink base with hot pink to orange shifting shimmer. All proceeds of Blossom will be donated to AAJC. So on release, this one will be 12. Now this is very vibrant in person. It's very pretty, lots of shimmery goodness action happening. In indoor lighting and bright lights, it's definitely this lovely, warm, sort of hot pink. I do think it's very flattering against my skin tone. And at angles, you'll see that orange shift light up. It is very lovely in person. I'm so glad this is getting released so everyone can have their chance at grabbing it. Now for opacity, I'm going to suggest 3 light coats on this one too. It also has that strong squishy-like factor to it, so you're going to want to allow it to just build up on its own. Now here on that 3rd coat, you can see it's covering very nicely. I think it is of the somewhat softer sort of shade, so you might see just the slightest bit of a smile line if you have a prominent free edge, but again, I think it's not super noticeable in person, and it's worth it for that shimmer to shine through. Now, the In the Name of the Moon collection and Blossom will be available through Ethereal Lacquer. These will release January 15th on pre-order through January 22nd. To our international friends, those of you in the UK, you will be able to grab these through Rainbow Connection UK, and those of our friends in the North, our Canadian friends, you guys will be able to grab these through Girly Cosmetics. I will link all of this below, including the charities that the proceeds for some of these shades will go through, and I'll break all of the information down below in the description box. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.